Good morning, I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is Courtroom 1, Session 1. Can I please have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please, for the Public Defender's Office and the State Attorney's Office?
Cody Jordan with the Public Defender's Office.
Annie Blanc on behalf of the state.
Thank you. And then Erlene, do I just push talk for the Adam?
Yes.
Mr. Pollock? Good morning, Mr. Pollock, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning, I'm gonna call your case. Do we have Mr. Milheiser? Good morning, Mr. Milheiser. We were able to get in contact with your lawyer. Mr. Pollock's actually appearing by phone. He's on the speaker, so he can hear us. He did file a motion on your behalf. This is 19 MM 5731. I had a chance to review the motion. Ms. Blanc, did you have a chance to review the motion?
No, Your Honor. If Your Honor could advise what motion was this made for?
So, yeah, there was a motion filed challenging the probable cause in 19 MM 5731.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I hate to interrupt court. May we take a short break? I'm going to switch with,
Okay.
I'll let this one finish and then I need to let her go to courtroom 2.
Okay. Are you ready to start court, though?
I should be.
Okay. So, Ms. Blunt, if you just pull up the affidavit, the arrest affidavit in 19 MM 5731 and review that, you can take a look and see if you have any issues with the probable cause.
Your Honor, the state is in a position that there is probable cause as to the affidavit. There's statements made by the defendant in the affidavit that includes that he is going to kill the said victim in the affidavit. So the state would ask that the motion be denied as to defense.
Okay. I'm going to find that there is no probable cause for the offense of assault based on HW v. State. That's 79 Southern 3rd, 143. There was no actions that Mr. Milheimer took in order to further the threat or the words. So I'm going to find no probable cause. I'm going to release him ROR as to that case. And then in 19 CF 2516 and 19 CF 2517, I'll take no action on either of those cases at this time. Do you have any questions,
Thank
Mr.
you, Judge.
Milheiser?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Pollock.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate you letting me appear by phone.
You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Ms. Bush. All right. All right, we're gonna take a 5-minute recess. adjourned. Ms. Bush, would you just put your appearance on the record, please?
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Tiffany Bailey.
Ms. Bailey, this is 19 CF 9793. You were arrested for attempted burglary of a conveyance in possession of methamphetamine. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. There is probable cause. Your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, your name?
Alexander Booth.
Mr. Booth, this is 19 CF 6592. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for armed robbery with a firearm wearing a mask. I will appoint the public, well, actually, you didn't fill out the affidavit, sir.
Your Honor, this is a transfer from a juvenile case, and
Right.
on that case, he has a private attorney.
Okay,
So I'm assuming that his private attorney is going to file a notice of appearance shortly. And that attorney's name is Benjamin Boyster
Boston.
Bolston.
okay, Mr. Boylston, I know Mr. Boylston. Okay. Well, I'm gonna temporarily appoint the Public Defender's Office for purposes of this hearing. Mr. Booth, you are not to return to 17503 West Colonial Drive, that's in Oakland, Florida. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms while out on bond. You're not to have any contact with any of your co-defendants, victims, or witnesses. Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask the court to consider the affidavit for custody order, which is a sworn affidavit, which alleges facts provided by identifiable witnesses, victims, and by Mr. Booth himself. And the state would ask the court to find that proof is evident or presumption is great that Mr. Booth is the individual that is alleged to have committed the robbery armed with a firearm, wearing a mask in this instance. The state would ask, based on that and based on his conviction history, which includes robbery with a firearm, aggravated assault with a firearm, and possession of a firearm by a minor, that the court holds him at no bond at this time, and that the finding of proof evident or presumption great also include a finding that holding him at no bond at this time would ensure the safety of the community.
Mr. Jordan?
Your Honor, we defer to the court.
Okay. At this time, the state has met their burden to establish, based upon the sworn probable cause affidavit, that there is proof evident or presumption great. At this time, Mr. Booth, your bond will remain at none. Thank you. Good morning. Are you Mr. Adkins?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. This is 19 MM 5730. You were arrested for trespassing. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Ms. Bush, was there an offer for Mr. Adkins?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may have just one moment to, sure.
He's been found incompetent?
And he's placed on conditional release in February for 18 CF 15419.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Spencer
In that,
represents him.
in that case, Your Honor, the state's not going to convey an offer.
I understand. time, I'm gonna revoke Mr. Adkins' conditional release. I will let the trial judge know that he's here in custody, so Mr. Spencer can get him in and they can readdress the conditional release. There's just facts in the new law affidavit that give me some concern, but I'll stay the bond at $500 in that matter. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
It's Benjamin Manoff.
Mr. Manhoff, you are here in 19 MM 5578. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning and resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause, sir, for those offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
It was a misunderstanding.
Well, hold on, sir. Just a second. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Manhoff?
Yes, Your Honor, it would be an adjudication, 7 days, and I believe he has
He has 7.
7 days credit time served, so it's credit time served
All right.
with no return. And abide by all trespass warnings.
Okay, so steak and shake. So, Mr. Manhoff, you can either resolve your case today, the state's offered you credit time served, or you can dispute the charges downtown. What would you like to do?
What do you mean dispute?
Well, if you're saying it was a misunderstanding and you have a defense, then you might want to go take care of that downtown.
Go downtown?
If you pay your bond.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to just resolve today.
Okay, I'll need you to sign the plea form, please.
I was assaulted too for 4 days in mental health area. Pepper sprayed. They wouldn't give me clothes. They were beating me. It's on. It should be on camera.
Okay.
Didn't eat or drink anything for 2 days.
So, sir, you're going to
Mr. Manhoff, do you want to proceed with your plea this morning?
I am, but it was a false arrest.
Well, even taking that into consideration, do you still want to proceed with the plea?
I just want to be on camera, like saying that it was a false arrest.
Mr. Manhoff, if you're not going to answer my questions, I'm not going to take your plea.
That's fine. I'm just playing. I'm just going along.
All right. Listen carefully and answer my questions, please, okay? Did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yeah, I mean, I understand it.
Okay. Do you have any questions about
I
anything
have
that's on
no
the form?
questions.
Mr. Manhoff, let me finish my question and then you can answer, okay? Are you on probation?
No.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yeah, for right now. Yeah.
Okay. Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
I have not been taking drugs.
Okay, well, I'm gonna accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty on both counts, sentence you to 7 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 7 days time served. You can't go back to the Steak and Shake. You're gonna have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 10th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning. Your name, counsel?
For the record, Ken Yulo on behalf of Stephanie Langford.
This is 19 CF 9443. Ma'am, you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for aggravated battery.
This is Ms. Langford. I think that's Ashley Pugh that you might be.
Tell me your client's name again, Mr. Yulo?
I have two people here. I have Ashley Pugh. I also have Stephanie Langford. I just realized this morning that Ms. Langford was in custody. I was in her other
So
cases.
this is Ms. Langford?
Correct, yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
and then Ms. Pugh's behind you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let me try to find Ms. Langford.
Apologies, Your Honor. I told Stephanie-
Langford?
Yes.
Got it, okay. All right, we'll try again. Okay. Yes. This is 19 CF 9092. Ms. Langford, you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for 5 counts of unauthorized possession of an identification card, fraudulent use of a personal identification, 2 counts, and 1 count of unauthorized possession of an identification card. You are represented by counsel this morning. Go ahead, Mr. Yulo.
Yes, Your Honor. I represent her on multiple other cases. I just found her here in custody. I'll be following up this morning with a notice
Sure.
of appearance on this one as well. I just got caught off guard with this one,
Okay.
so.
So, ma'am, I'm gonna set your bond as follows. Count 1 is gonna be $1,500. Count 2 is 100. Count 3 is 100. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 will be 100. I'm not gonna take any action on 19 CF 8049 or 19 CF 6796. However, I'm gonna revoke the bond in 19 CF 6706 and 19 CF 6667.
Your Honor, I got caught a little off guard this morning with this one, but I'm guessing that you looked over that and was it after those?
Right, so the first 2 that I mentioned, the offense date on the new warrant is May 13th. She was allegedly committed this offense. So the 19 CF 6796, her arrest date was May 14th. And then her arrest date for the 19 CF 8049 was June 6th. The other 2, though, was 5/8. Yeah, 19 CF 6706 and 19 CF 6667. Her arrest date was 5/8, and then this was allegedly on, and she bonded out on 5/9, and then this new date is 5/13. So that's why those bonds are being revoked.
You know, I would ask if you would consider, based off of, I don't want to ever say this is not serious, but based off of the level of the offenses, these aren't, the idea is that she's just in possession of some stuff that she's not supposed to be in possession of. We're trying to resolve a bunch of these cases. We have out-of-county stuff too, in Lake County as well. I believe if we could just double those bonds, Your Honor. I know in the past we had the ability to put people on GPS monitor, stuff like that. We don't have that ability anymore, so I would ask if you consider maybe just raising the bonds as some sort of basis for putting her back out there and giving her a chance to resolve some out-of-county stuff as well. And this will complicate matters significantly. And Ms. Langford is prepared to do some jail time here. It's just going to be in terms of the order in which we have to get stuff done. It'd be much more complicated. So I'd ask if we just revoke them and double the bond amounts.
Okay, state?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask the court maintain the revocations in the 2 matters, 6667 and 6706, and let the trial division make a determination what, if any, appropriate bonds and release conditions should be ordered. At the time that this new law crime was committed, she was out on bond at that time in those 2 matters. And the state would assert that giving her another opportunity to go into the community with bond is not going to be appropriate at this time, Your Honor.
All right, in 19 CF 6706, I'll revoke that bond. It was previously set at $8,950. I'll set it for $15,000.
There you go.
On that one, I only have 1 count listed, fraudulent use of 6706?
It's 8 counts, 8 counts.
Oh, there's only
Your
one
Honor.
listed here.
It's 8 counts of fraud abuse.
And the 8 is just before
The counts.
the counts.
All right, so it's $1,875 per count for a total of 15,000. And then on nineteen CF 6667, can you do 3,600 divided by 30? 1,200. And then in that case, it's 1,200 per count. I have 3 counts, is that right? Only 2 filed? Okay, so 1,800 then on each count.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then there'll be no action on 19 CT 1224. That's the CT? Yeah. Thank you, Jenny. All right, I think that's everything.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I do appreciate it. Thank you.
And Your Honor, on the traffic, that was a no action as well?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now we're to Ms. Pugh, Your Honor.
Okay, yes, thank you. All right, Ms. Pugh, you are here 19 CF 9443. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for the offense of aggravated battery with great bodily harm. I am going to order, ma'am, that you're not to have any contact with Ruth Charles. You are not to return to 1611 26th Street, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while out on bond. Mr. Yulo, did you have a recommendation as to
Yes, Your
bond?
Honor. I would just ask for the standard bond scheduled amount of $3,500.
Ms. Bush?
Your Honor, that was the standard at when the state would ask the court, based on her history, which includes prior failures to appear, that the court set bond in the amount of $5,000.
Yeah, all right. I am gonna set bond in the amount of $5,000. Ms. Langford has, Ms. Pugh has 5 failures to appear. So based on that, her bond will be set at $5,000 with the other conditions that I stated.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
she
right.
does. 19 MM 5761, ma'am, you were arrested for resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause for that offense, ma'am. Your bond will be $100. Thank you.
Your Honor. That's all I have, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too, thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Good morning, counsel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Yadira Rodriguez on behalf of Millie Michael.
Just give me 1 second, I gotta pull Mr. Michael's paperwork. It's right there. Okay. Okay, this is 19 CF 9787. Mr. Michael was arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for 4 counts of lewd and lascivious molestation. Victim being between the ages of 12 and 15, 2 counts of false imprisonment, and 4 counts of a sexual offense with an authority figure in conduct with a student. Sir, I'm going to order at this time that you're not to have any unsupervised contact with children under the age of 18. You are not to return to West Ridge Middle School. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while out on bond. And you're not to have any direct or indirect contact with any of the alleged victims or their family members. Ms. Rodriguez, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Your Honor, he's entitled to a bond. We will ask for it to be a reasonable bond. He has no criminal history and he's 29 years old.
Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. As he was charged as a authority figure, and this was at a school, the state would just advise the court that this is subject to enhancement under the statute, which would also raise it one level. The state would ask the court to take that into consideration when determining the bond. The state's recommendation on bond would be, as to count one, the state would recommend a bond of $25,000. As to count two, the state would recommend a bond of $2,500. As to counts 2, 3, and 4. As to count 5, the state would recommend a subsidiary bond of $150 for 5 and 6, and for 7, $150, Your Honor.
There's 10, I have 10 total counts. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I did not see the additional counts. So as to count 7, the state would ask for a bond of $2,500 and then $150 as to counts 8, 9, and 10.
Ms. Rodriguez, based on what you've told me, I don't know what would be a reasonable amount for your client. Did you want to put on any testimony from him as to what he's able to afford or his ties to the community?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Could you swear in, please?
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Michael, can you tell the court, who do you live with?
As of right now, I live with my wife.
And does your wife work?
Yes, she does.
What does she do for a living?
She is in college enrollment advisor.
And how much does she make per month?
I want to say roughly about 1,000.
Do you, are you working right now?
I'm sorry, not a month. A month. I want to say about maybe 3,000 or so a
Okay.
month.
Are you working at this moment?
No, I'm not.
Do you have any money saved in a bank account?
Yes, we do.
How much money do you have in your bank account?
I'm not sure.
Would that be, say, less than 5,000?
A little over 5,000.
Do you own a house?
We are renting right now,
And how much is your rent?
1,500.
Do you own any stocks or bonds?
No,
That's all I have.
Okay. Mr. Michael, how long have you lived here in the Central Florida area?
since 1990.
1990?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have other family that lives here besides your wife?
I do.
Who's that?
My mother and my father.
Would they be someone who'd be able to assist you in posting bond?
For sure.
Okay. And the only income that you have in the home right now is your wife?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Bush?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor has asked some of the questions that I was going to ask, but I do have one other question. Is it Michelle or Michael?
Michelle.
Mr. Michelle, how long had you been employed with the school system?
A little over 5 years.
And through the school system, did you have any investment vehicles through the school?
No, ma'am.
And you said that your parents live locally.
Yes, ma'am.
And are your parents employed?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said that they would be able to assist you with bond, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I have no further questions, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'm gonna set bond on count 1 at $7,500, bond on count 2 is $7,500, bond on count 3 will be $7,500. Bond on count 4 will also be $7,500. Bond on count 5 is $150, bond on count 6 is $150, bond on count 7 through 10 will be $150. Plus subject to all the other conditions that I previously imposed.
And, Your Honor, the state would ask, the court gave a no return to the specific school to no public schools properties.
I will modify that order, sir. You're not to be on any public school or any school properties. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Have a good day.
Did this summer? Ms. Bellani, are you here on Miss Ingram?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Could we, or is she next? Is Miss Ingram next? Okay, she just, her paperwork was out of order. Okay. And, sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tim McLean on behalf of Samuel Stevens,
Mr. Stevens, okay.
who is president standing to my right.
And you said your name is Mr. McLean?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Stevens, you are here in 19 CF 8830. You were arrested for fleeing and eluding with lights and sirens, driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions, and reckless driving pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. Thank you. Mr. McLean, would you like to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I would ask the court to grant Mr. Stevens a reasonable bond based on the suspect. I believe that the arrest affidavit is kind of suspect, Judge, as to probable cause.
In what way?
Well, if you look at the arrest affidavit that I have, it's based on the fact that Officer Murphy was involved in some sort of high-speed chase with someone that he didn't capture. The alleged assailant got away, and he based his arrest off of the fact that Mr. Samuel is a black bald-headed man and is somehow related to the registered owner of the vehicle. It appears that he didn't get a good description. It appears that, based on the affidavit, that he drove past him real fast. He shined his light inside the vehicle, and this was a dark-colored vehicle with dark-colored tint, and the window was rolled up. Now, from inside a vehicle for such a short period of time, you can't tell the height, weight, or anything. All you have is a black bald-headed man. That's all you have. And most black folk got at least 1 or 2 of those in the family. So I don't know if there's probable cause to establish that Mr. Stevens is, in fact, that particular guy. But at the very least, Judge, the evidence is weak. So I would ask that the court grant a bond based on that.
Okay. Ms. Bush, did you want to respond in any way?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
The state would ask the court to take into consideration that he has 2 prior aggravated fleeing and attempting to elude convictions, one of which he did go to DOC.
I do see that. Okay, taking both of those things into consideration, not only the conviction, but the facts contained in the probable cause affidavit. I'm gonna set bond on count 1 will be $5,000, bond on count 2 will be $150, and bond on count 3 will be $150. Thank you, sir.
May I be excused?
Yes, you may, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Bellani, how are you?
I'm well, Judge, how are you?
Good, thanks.
For the record, Your Honor, Joanne Polani representing Miss Ingram. We filed a notice of appearance yesterday. It's based out of Seminole County, Judge.
Is this an add-on? Is there an actual new law offense? There's just the VOP?
Judge, we don't believe there's grounds to hold her. There's no new law violation, there's no technical violation. The officer called a probation officer, said she wasn't violating her. The officer just decided to do that, but we don't see grounds to hold her or valid technical violation. Judge, can the state and I approach real quick?
Sure. Yeah, I think have you seen this affidavit? Okay, so if you want to take a look at this, especially you have this one, but, oh, you do not? Okay, I'll let you look at this. Because in this one, it says, it says that he called probation officer Officer Rodriguez Ortiz, who advised she was under her supervision under the Florida TSC. The probation officer advised that a stipulation is not to be on anyone who used narcotics. Someone advised that her boyfriend was smoking cannabis in the vehicle yesterday. Officer was trying to tell me that being associated with someone who used narcotics was a violation of her probation and that she was going to violate her upon her arrival if I was not going to. So based off what Officer Ortiz explained to me, I arrested someone for violation of probation. So I understand that this is I forgot what county this is, Seminole County. Okay, so based upon, Ms. Ingram's history and these allegations, and then Seminole County, I would be inclined to give her a bond on the violation of probation, and then she can, because I'm sure they're going to file a violation. Based on this. So at least, she can get out, go to the probation officer, they'll issue a new warrant, and she'll have to obviously go to, yes. Yeah, no, I would be inclined to give her a bond, and then she can go talk to probation and figure it out, but I don't have like a new law. We don't have a case, because it's a Seminole County case, and there's no actual, you didn't arrest her for anything, well, for violation of probation, yeah. Okay. You're open. So Ms. Ingram is on probation for possession of marijuana over 20 grams and possession of drug paraphernalia. You're gonna give her a bond of $1,000 for the possession of marijuana over 20 and then 100 on the possession of paraphernalia.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. 1,000.
Judge, may I excuse?
Yes, you may.
Have a good
You too, good to see you. It's okay. George is the last name? Sir, tell me your name.
Ariel Altador.
Okay. I'll pull George aside. Mr. Altador, you are here in 19 CF 9826, sir. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine and driving while license suspended. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 will be $100. In 19 CT 4463 and 19 CT 4462, I'm going to revoke both of those bonds. In 19 CT 4463, your bond will be $1,000. And in 19 CT 4462, your bond will be $200, sir. Thank you.
So you got new bonds. You can bond out, but you have to pay the bonds again,
And then the next one's 200.
and you're out on bond cases. Okay, sir?
So your Honor, it's 200 out of 4462, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, your name, ma'am?
Amador, Janelle?
Ma'am, you're here in case number 19 CF 9789. You were arrested for possession of heroin, possession of cocaine, possession of Xanax, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause for those offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. At this time, I'm going to place you on pretrial release in order that you're not to possess or consume any illegal or controlled substances, ma'am. Okay? Thank you.
PTR. Now, what that is it's a program where you get out without having to pay anything. But you get to keep in contact with PTR. You can also drug test.
When does that start? When do I get funded?
Bonding, you're getting it for free.
Oh,
You just have to, they're gonna give you some content.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Barnes?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Barnes, this is 19 CF 1593. You failed to appear, sir, for case management conference on June 27th of this year. Your bond is currently set at none, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed.
Right now, you're being held up on, I'm going to your attorney that you're here. And as soon as possible. I mean, I can't give you a time.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
James H. Barrett III.
Mr. Barrett, you're here in 19 CF 9824. You were arrested for possession of a controlled substance and petty theft. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You're not to return to Home Depot located at 1312 South Orange Blossom Trail. And you are not to possess or consume any controlled or illegal substances, sir, without a valid prescription. You also have an on-view violation of probation, which there is probable cause for. Your bond in that matter is going to be $1,500, and your bond in the previous matter will be $1,000 and $100. Thank you, sir.
Because that's not gonna come up today, because the judge isn't hearing the case, especially in charge of that. But it also looks like you are on probation, you have a violation. You have a violation?
Yes.
So they would, if you bond, they would transfer you.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Steve Bernard.
Mr. Bernard, you're here in 19 CF 9126. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias for the offense of sexual battery on a person 18 years of age or older. At this time, sir, I'm going to order that you're not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while you are out on bond. You're also not to return to the scene. And your bond is $10,000, sir. Thank you.
Sir, do you have any questions?
Good morning, your name, sir?
Freddie Carroll.
Mr. Carroll, you're here in 19 CF 9839. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for sale of synthetic cannabinoids. I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your bond is $500.
There's some oddities.
Did the state file on the out on bond case? It's a misdemeanor? They only filed on
They
the misdemeanor?
transferred it to a misdemeanor case.
Okay. All right. 19 MM 5557. I'm not going to take any action at this time on that case.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Robert Childs.
Mr. Childs, you're here in 16 CF 11738. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for the offenses of uttering forgery, possession of a counterfeit payment instrument, deposit of a worthless item with intent to defraud, and grand theft third degree.
And Your Honor, for the correction, they have filed the charges in this case, but the only filed charges as to the uttering forgery,
Okay?
statute 831.09, and the grand theft third degree, statute 812.014 2C1.
Got it. Okay. So Jenny, do I just need to set a bond for 2 counts and then you'll close the rest out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was 16. They were filed on 16.
All right, sir. Bond on count 1 will be $1,000 and bond on the second count will be $150. Sir, you're not to return to the Medical City Eye Center at 214 East Mark Street. You're not to also have any contact with any of the witnesses in this case. All right? Thank you, sir. Does she just put ROR on the other counts? We can put unfiled, I guess, or ROR. If there's no charges, they don't exist anymore.
So what were the
It's
two
easier if we
options?
put ROR, that's fine.
I know ROR was one. Okay.
You're fine, sir.
Good morning, your name?
Dontavius Collier.
Mr. Collier, you are here in 19 CF 9796. You were arrested for robbery armed with a weapon and grand theft third degree. There's probable cause for both of the offenses, sir. I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your bond on count 1, sir, is going to be $7,500. Your bond on count 2 is $150. You are not to return to 5654 Century 21 Boulevard. You're also not to have any contact with Carson Williams, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir, while out on bond. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Includes ammunition.
Yes. Good morning, your name?
Brandon Cooney.
Mr. Coney, you are here and 19 CF 9790, you were arrested for possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Mr. Coney, at this time, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You need to stay in contact with your lawyer and their office and the clerk's office to make sure you know what your next court date is. Otherwise, if you miss court, they're going to issue a no bond warrant for your arrest, sir.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank
You're also, yes, listen, you're also not to possess or consume any illegal substances or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
And here's some information for you.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Duffy?
Morning.
Sir, this is 18 CF 13705. You failed to appear for a status hearing on April 17th of this year. Your bond is currently set at none, sir. I'll appoint the public defender in that case to represent you if they weren't previously appointed. I looked up the 18MM 5615 case this morning, and there was an information file, but it's just sitting there. So
They returned it so the state could file proper service. Apparently, someone, and it wasn't clear to me, was improperly serviced. It might have been the defendant.
it looked like it was a witness name that I saw.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Does he want to resolve this case today?
Well, I mean, the question is, if they have a witness they can't get in contact with, the state can't move forward on charges, so.
Okay, well, he's also out on bond and failing to appear for court. I mean, I'm just asking if he wants to resolve the case.
You're out on bond in the 2018.
But I believe he's on probation.
Interesting.
Is he on probation?
Constructive.
It says it's a suspended sentence?
Yes, let me just double check, 'cause I have some.
All right. In any event, I'll take no action on 18 MM 5615. Okay. I'm not gonna do anything with that.
No bond, talk to your attorney, we'll be in touch. Look at these.
Good morning, are you Mr. Jackson?
Good morning. How you doing today?
Good morning, sir. Good, thank you. This is 18 CF 6511. You failed to appear for a status hearing on June 27th of 2019. Your bond is set at none, sir. You'll have to get the trial judge to modify the capias, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed. I can't modify the trial judge's capias, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me when my next court date is?
There isn't one at the moment.
Sure, I'm gonna get in contact with your attorney. You already have the TV on this case. They need to have a motion in front of your judge in order to get a bond set. She's already.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Courtney Millette.
Mr. Millette, this is 19 CF 9791. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for failing to register as required. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and your bond is $5,000, sir. You do have reporting requirements when you're released from the jail. Thank you, sir.
So, sir, I just wanna explain this to you real quick. Basically, every time you change your address, you gotta report.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Lisa Marie Merriman.
Ma'am, this is 19 CF 7021. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. Your bond is $1,000. You are not to return to the Publix liquor store at 242 North Orlando Road in Maitland, Florida. You also have 19 CF 7020. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. You are not to return to 242 North Orlando Avenue, the Publix liquor store in Maitland. Your bond is also $1,000 in that matter. You have 19 CF 7019. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. Your bond is $1,000 in that matter, and you are not to return to the Publix liquor store at 242 North Orlando Avenue. I'll appoint the public defender, ma'am, to represent you in all the cases as well. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Christopher Moats, ma'am.
Mr. Moats, this is 19 CF 21. Sir, you failed to appear for arraignment on June 19th of 2019. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, I'm gonna give you some information right here. Do you have any questions? You did not have an attorney previously, but right now, I'm going to be appointed to you as a judge in that case.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jordan. Mr. Jordan. The gentleman that just left.
Moats,
Moats, thank you.
failure to appear.
Thank you.
Is this Mr. George?
Good morning, Your Honor. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
everyone else in the courtroom. Sasha Watson up there on behalf of Alicia Adamson this morning.
Good morning, Ms. Watson. We have 19 CF 9830. Mr. George, you were arrested for possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, and possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams. He actually filled out the PD application. I'm just going to throw that away.
Sure.
That's fine. I do find probable cause for each of the offenses. Ms. Watson, did you want to be heard with respect to bond and then his out on bond form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
We are requesting that the bond in 19 CF 9365 not be revoked at this time, Your Honor. The state has not yet filed charges on those cases. And with respect to the current case, Your Honor, this is not his residence. He was not there at the time of the incident. He was not aware of anything in the property. He was actually apprehended subsequent to the search of the property while he was visiting one of the residents there. It is our contention that this has nothing to do with him as far as him not being a resident, not being aware of what was in the residence at the time.
Okay. Ms. Bush?
Within the 4 corners of the new law arrest, the state has already found probable cause exists, and the state would ask the court to stay the bond as set in that matter. As to the out on bond case, the state is going to recommend to the court to revoke those bonds and reset bonds at double the amount. It is true the state has not yet filed in that matter. However, they're similar crimes, and that case came in on June 30th, Your Honor.
As I stated, there is probable cause based upon the 4 corners of the affidavit, but I will take into consideration his potential constructive possession defense to the charges. I am gonna stay the bonds in 19 CF 9830. On count 1 is 5,000, count 2 is 150, count 3 is 150. But in 19 CF 9365, I'm gonna take no action on that matter at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good to see you. Good morning. Are you Mr. Padilla? Good morning, sir. This is 19 CF 9645. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for the offense of aggravated assault with a firearm. I will appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You are not to return to 340 South Alafaya Trail, that's the Car Wash Palace. You're not to have any contact with Kevin Astacio, the alleged victim in this matter, and you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. If you do own a firearm, you need to surrender that to the Sheriff's Department within 6 hours of your release from the jail, sir.
And Your Honor, what was the bond?
I haven't said it yet.
Oh.
Robin, I must have misplaced his face sheet. Do you have his face sheet? Oh, yes. Oh, I got it stuck here. All right, so his bond's $3,500.
Do you have any questions, sir?
No, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Jonathan Palm.
Mr. Palm, this is 19 CF 9272. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for written threats to kill or do bodily harm. You are not to have any contact with Kayla Casillas. You are not to go to 5368 Lake Margaret Drive. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your bond is $2,500, sir. Thank you.
It's okay. Do you have any questions? Do you have any firearms?
Good morning, your name?
Jarvis Rivera.
Mr. Rivera, you're here in 18 CF 13451. Sir, you failed to appear for pretrial conference on May 28th of this year. Your bond is set at none. I will appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed to represent you, sir. Okay, thank you.
Looks like you do have a public defender in this case. I don't know if it's going to be the same one since this was from a while ago, but I'm going to get in contact with whoever it is and let them know that you just got picked up and you need to be seen by your judge to be called. All right?
Good morning, your name?
Xavier Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, you're here in 19 CF 9797. You were arrested for robbery with a weapon and grand theft 3rd degree. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You are not to return to 5654 Century 21 Boulevard. You're not to have any contact with Carson Williams or Dontavius Collier, that's your alleged co-defendant. You're also not to possess any weapons or any firearms while out on bond. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150. Thank you, sir.
Do you have any questions? Keep a bond set, you know? Keep a bond. Robert?
Your Honor.
Yes.
The state just wants to be certain that the court is viewing that as an F1 punishable, not to exceed life in prison.
Thought it was a regular,
No, Your Honor. It's a robbery armed with a firearm.
it says with a weapon. The statute, they said it was the weapon. I looked it up this morning, and it's under that subsection 2B, when it's just a weapon, it's a first-degree felony.
It's first-degree felony, punishable not to exceed. And, yes, it starts at 30 years, Your Honor,
Okay,
but it is a first-degree felony.
yes. I had to look that up myself this morning, Mr. Judge.
It's just that the narrative actually states a firearm.
Yes,
Yes, but the statute listed is 2B, not 2A,
right.
which is a first-degree felony, not a punishable by life.
And he got a bond.
Yes, so,
And I was just
oh, okay.
double checking.
Good morning, are you Mr. Sanders?
Good morning.
Mr. Sanders, you were here in 19 CF 9817. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, you can't return to the Home Depot at 7022 West Colonial Drive. And at this time, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, sir. Please make sure you stay in contact with your lawyer for your next court date, because if you fail to appear for court, they'll issue a no bond warrant for your arrest, sir. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, are you Mr. Spence? Sir,
Good morning.
you're Mr. Spence?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is 19 CF 4218. You failed to appear for case management conference on June 26th of 2019. Your bond, sir, is $2,500, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed.
Okay. It looks like they're already trying to work this out.
Yeah, there was notes.
Yeah, you were involuntarily committed.
Yes, is there any way you can let me know to see if they can ROR me on this?
I'm gonna get in contact with your attorney. The issue is that bond can't be changed by anyone but the judge issue.
So I gotta go in front of that judge.
Your Honor, Ms. Suffield is medical.
Okay. Mr. Jordan,
Yeah, sure. We already represent her in her failure to appear cases, and it's set no bond.
okay. Do you want to just waive her appearance and I'll do the IA?
Yes, Your Honor, I feel
Okay.
that's appropriate.
Okay, so she's got 18 CF 16478, where she failed to appear. Her bond is set at none. She's got 18 CF 12773. She failed to appear on April 30th of 2019. Her bond in that matter is none. She also has 19 CF 9803, which was a new law offense for possession of heroin, possession of drug paraphernalia, and false information to a law enforcement officer during investigation. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender on the new matter as well. Bond on count 1 is 1,000. Bond on count 2 and 3 is 100. Good morning. Are you Mr. Turner?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Turner, this is 19 CF 9828. You were arrested for possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Your Honor, I do have a contention as to this charge.
Go ahead, Mr. Jordan.
There is, in a possession with intent to sell, there's no information in the police report as to the specific amount of the substance. It only mentions the number of rocks, it calls them. The officer does not weigh the substance. And because of that, the specific amount that would rise to a presumption inconsistent with personal use is not found in the police report, nor is there any admission upon the defendant or any other information in the report that would give rise to the instance of how this is possession with intent to sell rather than simple possession.
Right.
Ms. Bush?
Your Honor, the state's not going to make a request for 24 hours in this matter. The state would ask the court to find probable cause for possession of cocaine.
Okay. I do find probable cause for possession of cocaine. Gonna set bond at $1,000. 19 CF 899, I'm gonna revoke that bond, and that bond will be set at $2,500. Oh, there's 3 counts? Oh, possession, tampering. Okay, so 1,000 on count 1, 1,000 on count 2, and 500 on count 3. Thank
Okay,
you,
sir.
Arnie.
So what she did is she revoked your bond on your out-on bond.
Sir, good morning, your name?
Ivan Villalona.
Sir, you're here in 19 CF 9739. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance, attempted burglary of a conveyance, and grand theft 3rd degree pursuant to a probable cause warrant. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in all of your cases this morning. In this matter, you're not to have any contact with Sergio Vega, and you are not to return to the Tiffany Terrace subdivision, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond. That one is 19 CF 9739. Okay, these are all the same day. Okay, so sir, your bond on count 1 in that matter's 3,000. Your bond on count 2 is 100. Your bond on count 3 is, it'll be 150. And then
Give me a second.
you have
Let her
19
finish.
CF 9786, where you were arrested for burglary of a conveyance, grand theft 3rd degree, and criminal mischief. There is probable cause. You're not to have any contact with Maria Rivera, and again, sir, you're not to return to the Tiffany Terrace subdivision. Your bond on count 1 will be 150. Your bond on count 2 is 150. Your bond on count 3 is 100. You have 19 CF 9785. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance, grand theft 3rd degree, and criminal mischief. You are not to have any contact with Elliot Lau, and you're not to return to the Tiffany Terrace subdivision. Your bond on count 1 is 150. Your bond on count 2 is 150. Your bond on count 3 is 100. And then you have 19 CF 9784. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and criminal mischief. You're not to have any contact with Digna Rodriguez. Your bond on count 1 is 150. Your bond on count 2 is 100. You have 19 CF 9783. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance. You are not to have any contact with Carlos Ortiz, and your bond would be $150. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. So, yes, the truth, this one's the main charge.
So this is all 10%. This one's this one, right?
You'd have to talk to the bail bondsman.
You sure?
There's some numbers downstairs. No? Can I be able to resolve that? Mr. Young.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Your name, sir.
Matthew Boisel, ma'am.
Okay, what about Dontavia Watson? Okay. And Secura's mental health? We'll reset that case then. You said Mr. Boisel?
That's correct,
Is
yes,
that
ma'am.
correct? Sir, you are here in 19 MM 5760. You were arrested for obstructing traffic to solicit without a permit. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer for Mr. Boisel?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served.
Are you on probation? Yes, Your Honor. After speaking with my client, he will accept the offer and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Boisel, did you read the plea form before you signed it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days time served. You'll also have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 10th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Your Honor, Mr. Negron, his TOT2 expired.
Okay. What about Jennifer Woods?
She's mental health.
All right. So we'll reset Miss Woods. I don't have Mr. Negron. Let's see. Paperwork, okay.
You guys don't have names.
Yeah, okay, they take it. Tell me your name, please.
Anderson Adams.
Mr. Adams, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Indian River County related to grand theft. Your bond is set at none, sir. Indian River County is going to come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there. Okay?
Question, do you know by when?
They're supposed to come within 72 hours, not including the weekends. But if they haven't come within 72 hours, you'll come back to see me, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, Dylan Law.
Mr. Law, you were here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County related to the offense of grand theft. Your bond, sir, is set at none. Seminole County is gonna come pick you up, and you'll see a judge at first appearance there. Okay, thank you.
Is that within today or? the
They
same?
usually come within 24 hours. Okay, thank you. Good morning, ma'am, your name?
Amy Long.
Ms. Long, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Lake County, Florida, related to a home invasion robbery. Your bond is set at none. And you will see a judge when you get to Lake County, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning, your name?
Chandler Moorhead.
Mr. Moorhead, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Bay County. Trying to see what it's for. Related to a felony domestic violence battery, tampering with a victim, and possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, sir. Your bond is set at none. Bay County's gonna come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there. All right, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Renald Prudhomme.
Mr. Prudhomme, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Polk County related to the offense of theft of $10,000, between $5,000 and $10,000 from a person 65 years or older. Your bond is $5,000 on count one. There's 2 counts, and $5,000 on count 2. If you're unable to post that bond, sir, Polk County will come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get to first appearance there. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Deshaun McGee, ma'am.
Mr. McGee, you're here in 19 MM 444. Looks like this is a determination of counsel hearing. Mr. McGee, based upon your affidavit, you do qualify for the Office of the Public Defender, so I will appoint them to represent you at this time.
Question, am I able to just go ahead and, because I have an extradition in South Carolina, a hold.
Okay.
So I would like to go ahead and just go through the process and just get it over with, so I can get that started, please.
I think the issue at this point, sir, I can't take a plea now. The state has not filed an information. They have to file an information in order for you to resolve this case. What you can do is, as soon as the state has filed an information, I'm sure your lawyer will be monitoring the case, is you can request a plea hearing, and you can resolve the case and then head up to South Carolina. Okay, but I can't do anything about it today.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Ma'am, good morning, your name?
Yuritsa Morales.
How about Mr. Hoggabook? Mr. Jordan,
It looks like he had previous mental health resets, and this is his first refusal. We'd ask for one more reset just in case.
you want to reset for tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. And David Skelly,
David Skelly's still mental health, Your Honor.
all right. Mr. Jordan, do you want his case reset as well?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe this is his second reset.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm sorry, tell me your name again, please.
Yuritsa Morales.
Morales is your last name?
Yes.
Got it. All right, this is 19 MM 5616. Ms. Bush, what's your position on the motion?
Your Honor, I apologize, I have not had an opportunity to, if I may have just a moment.
Sure.
Yes, she has 2, Your Honor. The last one was back in 2011. Yes.
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
She has 2 failure to appears, but the last one was back in 2011.
Your Honor, the state's concern in this matter just one moment to take a look at Ms. Morales's history beyond failures to appear. And if I could ask pretrial release services, does she would not qualify for pretrial release?
Yeah, we didn't qualify Ms. Morales for pretrial release.
I have some questions for you, Mr. Jordan. Where is she gonna get her abilified and how? That's my concern. I'm reading the affidavit. And Ms. Morales, it sounds like you maybe were not taking your abilified. You don't have to, these are my concerns. So if I'm to release you, I wanna make sure that there's a plan in place for you to get your medication, for you to take your medication, right?
Yes,
Follow up
I
with
have
your
an
Social Security
appointment. I have an appointment on the 13th to get more medication, but my medication's at my mom's and so is my clothes.
Okay, so you'll be able to get to your mom's and get your
Yeah, I
medicine?
have to go to my mom's to get my clothes. I don't trust my family anymore because my identity's been stolen. So I left my mom's house and I'm currently homeless, but I am going to go to a shelter. I just need to get my clothes and my medicine from my mom's house.
Where's your appointment at?
Lakeside, Aspire Health,
What's the address? Do you know where it is?
1800 Mercy Drive.
And Your Honor, the state does have one question. I noticed that the motion does state that you're going to go to the coalition. Have you already
I've been
secured a
there.
bed there?
I went there, didn't have space, but I have stood there before and they have given me a bed before.
Would she qualify for mental health, PTR?
Possibility. She does have some, well, her history's not bad, so I mean, we can try, Your Honor. She doesn't have anything aggravating in her history.
Okay. So that would be a really good
Yes, I would
solution for
agree.
you, Ms. Morales, because the mental health pretrial release program, they have beds at Lakeside, like not in the hospital part, but in like a residential facility. And you'd get a case manager, they'll help
I
you.
don't want to stay there.
You don't want to stay there?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I just don't want to stay at Lakeside.
Well, no, it's not the hospital. I think you should talk to them. I'm gonna put that down right now for your.
Would I be
bond
able to
motion.
leave?
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Work?
Yep, all of those things. It's not the hospital part. It's a residential program, so they have
Okay.
like, it's like an apartment. You have other roommates who are on the program. You'll have a case manager who will monitor your court case with you. They will help you make sure you follow up on your Social Security benefits. They'll help you with your med clinic appointments, whatever other resources you need, help you find a job, all of those things. And then
I
help
don't
you
get
hopefully
Social
find-
Security right now.
Huh?
I don't get Social Security.
I know it says you're applying, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they have a whole entitlements office where you could go and meet with someone to help
Okay,
you.
that'll be fine. As long as I can work and see my kids.
That should not be a problem at all. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm gonna put down, right now, I'm gonna deny the motion today, and I'm gonna put down to be screened for mental health PTR. And then if, not Mr. Jordan, then just bring her back and we'll address the conditions of.
Right, did you want to put, just in case, the abortion bond or medication?
Well, she already has a bond.
All right, so you want to keep that bond?
Keep the bond, yes, yes. But the motion was for ROR, so I'm
Yes.
just gonna deny the motion
And
and do a referral for mental health PTR. And if not, if she doesn't qualify, just bring her back.
And if we could get an update on that, when do you think we're gonna have an answer for?
I think just the way we worded on the court order, because you're, I would still try, I would still do the bond or, just because
Yeah,
the
I'm
way
gonna
it's
do, she has one, $500
Or,
for mental health
okay, good,
PTR.
all right, now I'll send the email out to him.
Okay, all right. Do you understand, Ms. Morales?
How long is that going to take?
Usually takes a couple of days, right, Robin?
Yeah, I might get something today.
You ask her to do it today?
I'm gonna email and I'll see what Colin says.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to address, well, see, on the order, though, I don't want, I would grant the motion if she doesn't qualify for mental health pretrial release, but with conditions.
We could reset this.
I will not be here.
How do we put this in?
Hopefully she responds back today. Usually it takes with 2 to 3 days, but she usually responds back to me. Okay.
If not qualify for mental health PTR, ROR? Is that gonna be a possibility?
We have, okay, so if not, then if she doesn't qualify for mental health PTR, then I will place her on, I will grant her motion for ROR, but she'll have to take all prescribed medicines.
No problem.
No illegal drugs or alcohol,
No problem.
no weapons or firearms of any kind,
No problem.
no return to 5725 Abercorn Drive,
No problem.
no contact with Giselle Malave.
That's not the person I wanted to go see. I wanted to see
Well,
Grisel Morales.
All right, but I'm just telling you, based upon the police report, this is who you can't have contact with. Or Carlos Cruz.
Okay.
You have to keep all of your medication clinic appointments at
Okay.
Lakeside or at Aspire.
Okay.
Have I missed any conditions? Ms. Bush, are there any other conditions that you think would be appropriate?
No, Your Honor, court covered them all.
All right, so we'll see if you can get mental health pretrial release. If not, then you'll be released with all of those conditions. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have to write that right. Thank you.
Maybe. Let me talk to the state. This is Mr. Lewis.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Bruce Owsley.
Mr. Owsley. You are here in 19MM 613. Ms. Bush, did you have a chance to review Mr. Owsley's motion?
I'm doing it.
You're doing it,
right
okay.
now. And, Your Honor, in our system, we do not have a copy of that motion. We only have a notice of hearing, a notice of intent to participate in discovery. I'm trying now to find the motion. But based on this date was not properly served with the motion.
I don't see it in Odyssey either. Do you have any objection to moving forward with the motion?
No, Your Honor, I just need to have
Sure.
an opportunity to,
Review with the facts?
yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jordan, do you have another copy for Ms. Bush that she could look at?
Yes, there was a copy emailed to the state.
And I found the copy that was sent by the judicial assistant. It's still not proper service.
state is reviewing that, could we ask PTR if he has any failure to appears? No failure to appears in prior history?
No failure to appears.
And what about priors?
He only has 8 misdemeanors, which is disorderly intox, assault on a law enforcement officer, another disorderly intox, resisting without violence, battery, disturbing peace. And the only out-of-state conviction he has is a battery, duelist, and criminal trespass.
No petty theft?
Is that out of Georgia?
Yes.
And no previous petty thefts?
Your Honor, the state is not going to object to the
Okay.
motion.
So, Mr. Elsey, I'm gonna grant your motion, but you can't return to Walmart, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Stay in contact with your lawyer to make sure that you know when your next court date is, otherwise you're gonna get a warrant for your arrest. if you
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
show up. Okay? Thank you, sir.
We could not resolve. Getting laced.
Good morning, are you Mr. Reese?
How you doing, ma'am?
Good morning, sir. Ms. Bush, do you want to take a moment to look at
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr.
Thank
Reese's motion? Okay.
And they filed this motion.
And Your Honor, I need to find what was sent by your assistant
Okay.
because I don't have a copy of your assistant.
Rock.
Right, he has 6 failure to appear. The last one was back in 2016.
2016?
Yes.
Here's the issue.
And if I may ask, pretrial release services, did I hear you say that he is not on probation?
No, no.
Okay.
have.
And his last failure to appear was just prior to
2016.
that. Is that correct? Thank you. Your Honor, at this time, the state is not going to object to the motion being granted with a no return to the scene order
Okay.
and abide by all trespass warnings.
All right, I'm gonna grant the motion, Mr. Reese. You're not to return to Wawa. You're to abide by all trespass warnings. You're not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol, and you're not to possess any firearms or any weapons. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, make sure you stay in contact with your lawyer for your next court date. Otherwise, they're gonna issue a no bond warrant for your arrest if you miss court.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you, sir.
You?
And then, Ms. Bush, just let me know when you're ready on the 33-day.
Thank you, Your Honor. This date's ready, Your Honor.
Good morning, this is Judge Amy Carter. This is Courtroom 1, Session 2. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good morning, Cody Jordan with the Public Defender's Office.
All right,
Tristan Bowman is medical, Your Honor.
all right. We will. Mr. Jordan, I'm inclined to place her on pretrial release and appoint your office. Do you want to just IA her
Yes, Your Honor, that would be preferable.
and waive her appearance?
Waive her appearance and release her PTR.
Okay. That's 19 CF 9838, Trista Bauman. She was arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possession of controlled substance. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent her, and I will place her on pretrial release at this time. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Colin Campbell, Your Honor.
Tell me.
Colin Campbell.
Mr. Campbell, this is 19 CF 9833. You were arrested for trafficking in MDMA, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. I'm gonna set your bond on count 1 at $50,000, sir. Your bond on count 2 will be $100, and your bond on count 3 is $100.
I'm sorry, the count on count one?
50,000.
Your turn to file a motion for
Good morning. Are you Mr. Hendricks?
Yes, ma'am, good morning.
Sir, this is 19 CF 9834. You were arrested for grand theft 3rd degree. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, you are not to return to 646 West Washington Street, and you're not to have any contact with Andrew Smith. Your bond, sir, is $1,000. Thank you, sir.
Oh, here's some information for you, sir. You have a failure to appear that just happened in June.
Yes, well, I already done worked that out. I already been working everything on that.
Right, but it's the prior she got.
But they ain't got to do nothing but pay the fine on that, all left on that.
If you get released on
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Gimmick item.
Mr. Item, this is 19 CF 9837. This is one of two. Am I missing a case for him? Oh, okay. Sir, you were arrested for battering a law enforcement officer and resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you.
So you're currently being held on parole violation as well. You will be seen by a judge in 7 days. You might be able to present the video.
What can I see? Your Honor, can I speak with you?
Not about the facts of your case. You're not gonna wanna talk about that today.
The
Your Honor.
issue, Your Honor, is I believe he has a VOP that's holding him.
I'm a manager, Your Honor, and I need to get back to work if I can. I got 5 kids. I cannot, for this charge, if you read the paperwork, you will see, and I'm gonna fight.
You have a
that.
bond, sir. I gave you a bond. And it looks like it's a parole violation. I don't have any jurisdiction over that, sir.
But it's here in Orange County. My probation officer is like Miss Hudson. I go see him regularly.
He's gonna have to come see you, sir. Like I said, I don't have any paperwork related to the parole violation. I don't have any jurisdiction over it, so it's not something that I can help you with.
But I know, but
There's nothing we can do.
Thank you, sir.
it's 7 to 10. I'm gonna be fired. 7 to 10 days?
I can't help you with it, sir. I'm sorry.
Killing me.
How about Mr. Mitchell?
Mr. Mitchell bond, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, good morning. Your name?
My name is Willie Robertson.
Mr. Robertson, this is 19 CF 9513. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for burglary of a structure and petty theft.
Yeah, but I explained to them
Just-
that I lost my wallet.
Okay, but listen, sir, you may have a defense of the case, and I'm not here to dispute that with you today. I'm just here to tell you what the charges are and how much your bond is, okay? Sir, you're not to return to Alpha Tile and Stone. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And your bond on count 1 is $3,500. Your bond on count 2 is $100.
Charges have not necessarily been filed. You're just here.
So what now?
Charges have been filed.
Okay, so how am I supposed to get out of here?
Right now, you have a bond. You can't afford your term of trade.
Now, I can afford the bond, but I mean,
That's it. If you can afford that, you can bond out today.
I'm in here for something that like I said, I didn't do.
You're in here on arrest, not necessarily for charges.
Okay, yeah, arrest where somebody, I lost my wallet and somebody else picks it up.
Come on, Mr. Robertson.
You ain't helping me, man.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Jannar Wynn.
Mr. Wynn, you were here in 19 CF 9835. You were arrested for trafficking in MDMA, possession of MDMA, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. I'm gonna set your bond on count 1 at $50,000. Your bond on count 2 is going to be $150. Your bond on count 3 is $150. You have 18 CF 13053. At this time, I'm revoking your bond in that matter, and that will be set at none, sir. Thank you.
You revoking my bond?
I am. Yeah. Thank you.
Don't bond out.
Huh?
You don't pay your bonds in this case because you don't get game time when you're here. I'm gonna talk to your attorney as soon as possible. You need to be seen by your judge in that case can't give you a bond.
Yeah, but right now I can't go nowhere.
Good morning. Your name, sir?
Shannon R. Grice.
Mr. Grice, you're here in 19 CO 646. Sir, you failed to appear for your arraignment on June 27 related to soliciting without a permit. I'll
Yeah.
appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed. Did you want to resolve your case today, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I'll do it, yeah.
Okay.
And Your Honor, that would be an adjudication 5 days, however many days credit time served.
4, probably?
And if I may, I just need to see if there's, I need to see if there are any additional costs, Your Honor.
The first one was a notice to appear. This is a notice to
Okay.
appear.
Then there would be no additional.
All right, so it's a 5-day offer, sir. You have credit for 1 day. Do you want to accept the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Give me a chance to clean up.
Thank you. Mr. Grice, did you read the plea form before you signed it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you
no,
on
ma'am.
probation?
No, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
Not lately.
Okay. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 1 day time served. You're also going to have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 10th of 2020, and you have
Okay.
30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, I'm going to need a hearing.
No problem, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, are you Mr. Soka?
Yes, ma'am.
This is 19 CO 650. You failed to appear, sir, at arraignment on June 26th of this year. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Soka?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days, whatever credit time served and court costs.
All right.
I have 2 cases pending on that. There should be 2 there. If she'll offer the same on the second one running concurrent, is there a second case?
Oh, what's the case number? 19 CO 655. 655, okay. Do you want to resolve both cases?
I would like to, yes. And I suffer from depression.
Okay.
And that's the reason I missed those court dates. I was in a stumper. And I mean, it was not intentional.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, the state would convey a concurrent sentence.
Okay. All right, Mr. Soka, I just need you to sign the plea form, please.
What did she say?
Oh, that's okay. I apologize, sir. The offer to resolve both of the cases today would be an adjudication of guilt, 5 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 1 day. Do you want to accept the offer?
Yeah, is that running concurrent?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, State Attorney.
Was the public defender appointed to the second case? Either case?
I think it was a notice to appear. I just have him appointed on this one today.
It was a written.
Mr. Soka, did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
No, Your Honor.
You didn't read it in the back?
Oh, I read it out there, yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea for both cases, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 1 day time served. Those are to run concurrent with one another. You will have to pay court costs for each case, though, and they'll both be due by July 10th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir.
Thank you,
All
ma'am.
right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am, your name?
Wendy Howard.
Tell me? Wendy Howard?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Howard, you are here in 19 CT 717. You were arrested for DUI. There is probable cause, ma'am. I'm going to, ma'am, were you gonna hire, oh, you did fill out the affidavit. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this matter. Your bond is $500. I'm also going to add that you're gonna have to do random urinalysis through pretrial release. And in 19 CF 9018, I will take no action at this time on that case. Ma'am, I'm not gonna revoke your bond.
Okay, thank you.
What's that case number? I'm sorry for the DUI.
19 CT 717. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
What about, Ramon Hernandez Lopez?
He was released from trial release, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Niles over his bondage.
Okay. Are you Miss Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Davis, you were arrested for resisting officer without violence, 2 counts. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm going to place Ms. Davis on pretrial release at this time.
Okay, ma'am?
She may qualify for pretrial diversion. She doesn't have any history.
Yes, Your Honor. So, we can leave it at
Okay.
Up to your attorney.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Koontz?
How you doing?
Sir, you're here in 19 MM 5778. You were arrested for resisting a merchant and petty theft. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Koontz?
Your Honor, I unfortunately don't have any history. May I cross the well, Your Honor? Thank you.
I'm thinking probably not on the history. Ms. Bush.
Your Honor, it appears that he has prior convictions for
Theft.
theft.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Koontz, you can't go back to the plaza downtown at 189 South Orange Avenue. Your bond on count 1 will be $500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, sir.
Do you have any questions, sir?
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
My uncle said, do you think jail make you somebody? But what I would like to say, I never knew, because the Mexicans, see, when I seen a cell is not cool.
Okay.
I was supposed to be the scared straight kid. I mean, I really thought jail was like, jail don't make you nobody.
No, it
But the reason I do the things that I do,
Well, don't say
because of
anything.
family, no, I'm just speaking to the judge. Let me talk to the judge. I just want you to know that I'm learning through experience rather than by example. If y'all was even to let me go today, where would I go anyway? I have a bus pass. I'll probably end up at racetrack bumming cigarettes.
All right, well,
At the
Mr.
homeless
Coons,
shelter.
I hear what you're saying. You do have a bond, sir, okay, and you can't
Ain't
go
nobody
back to
gonna
the
come get me,
class.
or you take me on your baker at me in the lakeside, so I get my medication? Jail ain't cool. I'm a good guy, man. I just supposed to be
Can someone
scared,
come see
a
him
scared
on-
straight kid.
Okay, Mr. Coons, can someone come see him to see
Cause
if he needs to be
incarceration
arrested?
is not for me. I'm just a big kid.
Got it. Well, someone's gonna come talk to you, sir, about possibly going over to Lakeside so you can get your medication, okay?
Okay, yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you, sir.
That's fair.
All right.
I appreciate it, Judge. I really did.
All right. Have a nice day,
I
sir.
really supposed to be.
Good morning, your name?
I'm Coco.
Are you Mr. Mathis?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mathis, you're here in 19 MM 5777. You were arrested for false alarm of fire.
Mm-hmm.
There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Ms. Bush, was there an offer?
I didn't want a public defender.
Okay. No offer? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mathis. Your bond is $250.
Oh, no offer?
No offer today. Mm-mm.
So, what is my charges again?
It's alleged that you pulled the fire alarm in the library, which is extremely dangerous where someone could get hurt.
No, but what are the charges?
False fire alarm.
That's the charge?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Christopher Van Egren, ma'am.
Christopher Van?
That's what they have it as, ma'am.
Okay, sir. You're here for an out-of-county warrant from Pinellas County for a violation of probation. You have no bond, sir. You will see a judge when you get to Pinellas County.
Yes, ma'am.
You have reporting requirements. Are you aware of that?
Say it again?
Reporting requirements when you're released from the jail.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? We're all set? All right, thank you very much. We'll be in recess.